Zhang Weili versus Thug Rose Namajunas. November the 6th, live from Madison Square Garden, UFC 268 co-main event of the evening. Hey there everybody, welcome to another episode of Prefight Breakdowns on the Bottom Line. Today I want to be talking about the co-main event of UFC 268, Zhang Weili versus Thug Rose Namajunas. Now this is a match that these two women are running back for the second time. I mean, the last time they were in the octagon, they actually had switched places. Zhang Weili, the defending champion, and Rose Namajunas, the challenger. Let's take a look at our challenger, Zhang Weili, the first Asian Chinese UFC champion. This woman had an impressive run on her UFC record up until the time that she faced Thug Rose. She had beaten Jessica Aguilar, she had beaten Tisha Torres, and in Jessica Andrade's first title defense, she did to Jessica Andrade what Jessica was used to doing to most other people. She took a scrappy, gritty, and dominating fighter and dominated her in turn when she knocked her out in the first round to dethrone Jessica Andrade and become UFC champion. In her first title defense, of course, she went up against UFC women's legend Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And boy, was that a fight for the ages. I'm not sure if the fight actually won Fight of the Year, but it sure as hell was a damn good candidate. I mean, hell, it might have been candidate for Fight of the Decade. These two women went at it like you rarely get to see. And the state that she left Joanna in was a sight to behold. Joanna had a massive hematoma on her forehead, needed several weeks to recover, I think both physically and psychologically. And that was what Zhang Weili had left in her wake. And given the absence of interesting challengers for her, there was but one option: to give Rose a second shot at that title that she lost so unfortunately against Jessica Andrade. That's right, so these women and their stories are actually more closely intertwined than you might realize. So when Zhang Weili took the title of Jessica Andrade had taken the title of Rose Namajunas. Let's talk about the champion, Thug Rose Namajunas, a woman so committed to her career that at one point, just to get away from the "she's just a pretty face" moniker, she shaved her head off. And that's how you see her show up to fights these days. But let's focus more on her record and see what she's come through. Now, this woman has wins over the likes of Tisha Torres, Michelle Waterson, 2 wins over Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and a win over Jessica Andrade, and of course, in her last outing, a win over Zhang Weili. Now, in terms of performances, Rose was really beginning to come into her own when she beat Michelle Waterson. Soon after that, she of course got a crack at Joanna Jędrzejczyk and that strawweight strap. And boy, did she deliver. First round knockout, someone that was considered to be one of the best strikers ever in the UFC, and Rose Namajunas put her to sleep. Well, Joanna was granted an immediate rematch, where this time it went the entire 5 rounds, where Thug Rose triumphed over Joanna once again. Now this time, having moved on from the Polish powerhouse, she took on Jessica Andrade in her second title defense. Well, this time, something went slightly off. Rose miscalculated her position while holding on to Jessica's head, ended up being picked up and dropped on her head, and Jessica Andrade was now the new strawweight champion via a highlight reel slam KO. Now that's something you should really go and check out. Just to prove that that was a one-off and that Rose was not one and done, she made a comeback, avenging her loss to Jessica Andrade, albeit a little late because Jessica had by now dropped the title to Zhang Weili. So she beats Jessica Andrade, gets back into #1 contender position, and of course she butted heads with Zhang Weili the last time, coming out on top. We'll see what happens when these two fighters face each other on November the 6th. This one is one hell of a co-main event, and I think potentially could be the best women's fight possible in the UFC today. So watch out for this, and watch out for the rest of our videos breaking down all the other exciting fights in UFC 268. I will see you in the next one.